The record is pretty clear that we would never ask anybody to do anything that we didn't do. My name is Michael Santos. I am the founder of Prison Professors, and I create these videos every day just to show our commitment to justice-impacted people. And most of our distribution is for people who are locked in jails and prisons all across the United States. And we reach more than 300,000 people through this effort because it's a very big problem, right? Our nation incarcerates more people per capita than any other nation on earth, and we as a society need to be thinking about how can we do better. And that requires a lot of moving parts. It's one of the reasons that we do so much work trying to change the system, and we're super proud. I'm going to actually share my screen here. We're super proud that we get to work with people like the Bureau of Prisons. In fact, if you click on their homepage of their website, you will see the Bureau of Prisons profiling our work and showing how we are building a machine to try and help more people work to prepare for success. This article, the Bureau of Prisons published on its website on June the 20th. I'm filming this video on August the 1st, 2023. So it's been like almost 6 weeks that it's up there, which that just blows my mind that it's been on there for so long. What I hope that you will see in that as the agency is changing in a very positive way. It is taking influence from justice-impacted people and urging us to collaborate and figure out ways that we can help more people emerge successfully with their dignity intact. And I can just say, as somebody who did 26 years in prison, I'm really glad that I get an opportunity to share the lessons that I learned from leaders and that I now get to pass along to hundreds of thousands of people in prison. Because if you're a justice-impacted person, you're really somebody that my heart goes with, and I really want you to learn what can you do to overcome many of the challenges that make life so difficult for so many other people. And that is the reason behind our newest project, which is right here, prisonprofessorstalent.com. And this is a website that we created specifically to help people inside start sowing seeds for resilience. We want them to learn how to make plans, set priorities, create tools, develop tactics, build resources, measure progress, and execute their plan. That release plan is going to become a cornerstone to a lot of our advocacy work, which will include working to advance this really innovative concept of work release programs for people in federal prison. And we love to profile the number of people who are working hard and demonstrating their commitment to excellence. We profile the website, but again, in all of our work, we never ask anyone to do something that we didn't do. I learned these lessons from leaders like Nelson Mandela. Okay, you could just kind of imagine, how would Nelson Mandela have responded if I reached out to him and said, "Hey, can you get me out of prison?" But instead, I looked at Nelson Mandela as somebody with a lot of wisdom and somebody that could help me craft a plan that would work for me. Nobody could undo the past, right? I made the decision that put me inside, and I would have to architect the strategy that would let me get home in the soonest possible time. In order to do that, you really need a plan, and you also need to memorialize that plan by showing how hard are you working to build a better outcome. And so we implemented this little search bar up there that makes it super simple to find. Just type in any name. You can find my profile, which I use as an example because I want people to see you've got to start building your story. This is the strategy that worked for me. When I go into prisons across the country and I ask people, how hard are you working or what have you been doing? A lot of people will talk about what they've done, but as a wise management guru has told us, if you can't measure it, it doesn't exist. So when you're thinking today about a future interaction you're going to have with a case manager, a probation officer, an employer, a business person, you're going to launch your career, you want to be able to show, I architected my plan to success. I had my own release plan. And that's exactly what this profile page is all about. It's about showing people how do you build a plan. And you could build your own profile. And when you build that profile, what you're going to have is this section here where we're going to encourage you to build your own bio. Okay? Write journal entries. Write your book report so that you can show what you're learning. Create your release plan. And the tribe this is a bigger piece of technology that we're building right now, but I'm looking forward to sharing it with you as soon as it's built, hopefully by the end of this month. Today, you will notice August the 1st, I added a new biography because I've just made this commitment to say, okay, I'm not going to ask people in prison to do something if I'm not in prison anymore. I finished my sentence, but I'm still deeply committed to showing you the strategies that allowed me to emerge successfully. And so I'm going to read my updated biography, and this is what I would encourage you to do. Write a new biography every month or every quarter or every year just to show how hard you're working. And today's biography, the edition, I'm calling it a SWOT analysis, right? To be thinking about our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and our threats. You have to be building your own SWOT analysis. Now let's read this journal entry. For a justice-impacted person, the biography page opens an opportunity. We can create a record to show how we are working to recalibrate and prepare for higher levels of success. The more we reveal about our actions, the more credibility we build. Although I concluded my obligation to the Bureau of Prisons in August 2013, I followed the same strategy that powered me through the journey. In our course, Preparing for Success After Prison, I detail the strategy in 10 easy steps. 1. Define success. 2. Set goals that align with how we define success. 3. Move forward with 100% commitment, showing the right attitude. 4. Aspire to something greater than what you're going through right now. 5. Act in ways that harmonize with how you define success. 6. Measure your progress with clear accountability metrics. 7. Keep your head in the game. Stay aware of opportunities and make others aware of your commitment to excellence. 8. Show your authenticity by developing your tools, tactics, and resources that will accelerate your prospects for success. 9. Celebrate every achievement, no matter how small, because you know that every achievement puts you on the pathway to new opportunities. And 10. Live in gratitude with an appreciation for the blessings in your life. On August the 12th, I will celebrate 10 years since completing my obligation to the Bureau of Prisons. To advocate for reforms that will improve the outcomes of our nation's criminal justice system, I must help more people in prison understand the importance of documenting their journey. Iterative biographies. While serving my sentence, many leaders provided examples of steps I could take to build pathways for success. They took the following action. 1. Visualized success as the best possible outcome. 2. Developed plans to resolve problems and create solutions. 3. Prioritize the first goals they should work toward. 4. Build tools, tactics, and resources to accelerate the plan. 5. Measured progress with daily accountability. 6. Adjusted their plans as obstacles changed. And 7. Executed their plan every day. Leaders published their progress regularly and invited others to hold them accountable. The strategy kept them moving forward. By following their example, I became more resilient. The resilience has helped me to build a career. It is not the career I would have chosen had I not spent 26 years in prison. But I know we must live in the world as it exists rather than as we want it to be. Prison professors' talent. Over the past several months, I visited more than 25 prisons. Interacting with more than 2,000 people inspired me to create a new platform that will help those people prepare for success upon release. I have invested hundreds of hours and thousands of dollars in developing this site for the past several months. It will further our effort to advocate for changes that help more justice-impacted people prepare for success upon release. The platform is part of a broader strategy that aligns with the above-mentioned steps. To change an entrenched system, We must go through several stages, leveraging our strengths, considering our weaknesses, opening opportunities, and anticipating our threats. SWOT analysis. In this addition to my bio page, I'll describe how this tactic carries us through the next quarter and the next year with a SWOT analysis. Strengths. My work ethic serves as a strength as I devote time each day to developing new tools, tactics, and resources. For example, in July 2023, we began building Prison Professors Talent with our new web platform. We'll create a machine to profile people working to develop exceptional and compelling adjustment strategies. They can use this resource to open new opportunities and build a career upon release, as I did. We published a new softcover book on Amazon. It's called The Release Plan 2024, How to Prepare for Success After Prison. We also published an Audible edition of Preparing for Success After Prison. These strengths further our ministry of helping more justice-impacted people prepare for success. The resources facilitate our mission of persuading stakeholders that it makes sense to reform laws and policies to incentivize excellence, introduce work-related programs for people in federal prison, consider expanding the furlough program, open more opportunities for people to earn higher levels of liberty through merit. Through our nonprofit, the Prison Professors Charitable Corporation, we have raised resources to hire a UCLA professor. She is doing a study to evaluate the effectiveness of courses we distribute to more than 300,000 people in jails and prisons nationwide. Her research will advance our efforts to build evidence-based programs that can improve the outcomes of America's criminal justice system. Weaknesses. As a 59-year-old person who served 26 years in prison, I am fighting the challenge of time. In 11 years, I will be 70. By then, I hope to see a policy and legislative change program that will make the prison system more of a meritocracy. In other words, we advocate for reforms that incentivize excellence. We can measure justice through a person's efforts to reconcile with society rather than by turning calendar pages. But time is ticking. We incarcerate more people than any other nation on earth. Statistics show that the longer we keep people in corrections, the less likely those people are to function in society as contributing citizens. When people learn to live in prison, they become less likely to succeed upon release. I feel a real sense of urgency to change laws that keep people in prison when they could be home and functioning while still serving their sentence. I need more financial resources to build a scalable response to the multi-billion-dollar ecosystem with a vested interest in keeping the prison system growing. I must think creatively and work harder to overcome this weakness. Opportunities. We can bring more people into our fight as we grow our digital footprint. We can inspire university students to intern with us. They can become volunteers for social justice, helping us generate more attention. We have an opportunity to build a coalition that includes justice-impacted people. By documenting their efforts to reconcile with society and prepare for success, we can show why reforms that incentivize excellence make sense. Administrators. We reach hundreds of thousands of people by bringing our programs into more jails and prisons. If they're preparing for success upon release, they're improving the culture of confinement. If the culture of confinement improves, administrators will be receptive to advocacy for more incentives. Employers. We can collaborate with employers who want to help this social justice initiative of improving outcomes for people who have gone through the criminal justice system. And taxpayers. When we improve the outcomes of the criminal justice system, we simultaneously create resources that build stronger communities. We reduce recidivism and end intergenerational cycles of recidivism. Threats. As a formerly incarcerated person, I am always conscious of trolls. Many people do not want to work hard to build successful solutions. The more successful I become, the more I put myself in the pathway of people who conspire to slander our work. For example, I hire formerly incarcerated people as part of our ministry. Most of the time, that works out just fine. But one person I hired, Sam Mangal, deceived customers who trusted us. We removed Sam from our company because of his deception and misrepresentations. To protect us against the threat of Sam's continued deception, we published documentation to show what our customers told us. Sam then conspired with others to launch a relentless smear campaign, sometimes hiding under the alias John Eastman. With our SWOT analysis, we're always on the path to improve. My updated profile page shows the daily commitment to staying the course. Now, I published this document because I want people to see, I want justice impacted people to see the importance of always building, of always preparing, of always thinking about the strengths that you have and how you can leverage those strengths, the weaknesses that exist, and how are you going to address them. In my case, that weakness is I need tens of millions of dollars to combat the billion-dollar industry that fights to make the United States the world's largest system of confinement. I need to think about the opportunities, because there are opportunities as well to build coalitions with justice-impacted people, administrators, legislators, employers, and citizens, and help them see that by incentivizing excellence, we can improve outcomes, but also to understand the threats. As a formerly incarcerated person, there's always going to be trolls and people that want to tear us down. And sometimes they come from the most unlikely places. Like I wrote about this fella here, Sam Mangal. You know, you could Google his name. Like if I Google his name, I'll go up here to Google and I'll just Google Sam Mangal, right? And if I Google the name, I can look and see he is a guy that's now kind of tried to launch this competitive site to ours, and he tries to masquerade as an expert. But the problem that he's not showing is that why did we remove him, right? Why did we remove him from our company? Well, we tried to give him a position to earn an income, but when we did that, if you scroll down here, you will see that, we had scores of people reaching out to us and telling us how he deceived them. So we published this page to document the truth about our company's working relationship with Sam Mangal and how customers complained that he deceived them and why we severed our working relationship. And you could scroll down to just see these examples of what people had to say and how we tried to help. So, I keep the entire document fresh and we update it with people who reach out to us and tell us, how he ripped them off and how he lied to them, because it is really distasteful to think that we gave this guy a job, an opportunity, and instead of working hard to try and ease it, he wrote all of these terrible, or he represented us in this terrible way of misrepresenting people who are in the most vulnerable state, right? They're facing time in prison. And we had to go back and do damage control and all this kind of stuff. But I would encourage you, just look at this, because this is an example of the types of information that comes from trolls. You could find it just by Googling. As I said, you could just Google Sam Mangal. And if you see it, just look at there, Sam Mangal, Deceptions and Deceit. And you could read all about it. And although now he is launching himself as an expert, you could just look at his site and you'll see that it is 100% plagiarized in the sense of there's nothing innovative or unique here in what he's creating. A lot of it he's stolen directly from my hard work, and then just masquerading himself as an expert when in fact he served like a year or year and a half or so in a minimum security camp one place, has gone through the criminal justice system twice, but really just an overall loser. And we face a lot of that in society, that you might work really hard to build your life, but you got to watch out for the trolls, because they'll be coming. And the best defense against a troll is a great offense. And a great offense is when you can show how hard you're working every single day. And that's the reason I would encourage every single person who's going through this journey to think about how am I going to memorialize a pathway to excellence? How am I going to show how hard I worked to build a life of meaning and relevance and dignity? And as I said, I would never ask anybody to do anything I'm doing. That's why I published my own profile. I want you to see what excellence looks like and how you could use it to open new opportunities. I am Michael Santos, the founder of Prison Professors, and I believe in you.